The Pistons are the basketball champions of the world.
Detroit, it's time. It's playoff time, Detroit. Let's go to work.
Shout out Detroit. I got to buff up, you know what I'm saying? Detroit, I'm all the way in. Detroit Pistons, I'm all the way in. Let's do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Buff Sound Podcast. We are the best POD in the 313. We're talking about a Pistons team that has come back to reality after their 13-game win streak. We last recorded the day of the Boston loss. We recorded before that. So today we're going to kind of go over the last 5 games where the Pistons are 2-3 against Boston, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, and last night's loss in Milwaukee. We've seen a lot of things that we assumed would be an issue. And over the last 5 games, I think some of those concerns have become real problems. Connie, you're first on my screen here. What is the first thing you would like to pick at over the Pistons' last 5 games?
I mean, the first thing I want to pick at is the thing that's the freshest in my mind, which is that loss to the Bucks last night, where Giannis goes out early. The Pistons are up 18 in the first quarter and look like they're just going to steamroll this team. And then the Bucks switch to a zone defense, and it is hard from then on out. The Pistons do not get one easy look, I feel like, for the rest of the game. It was freaking long, drawn out, a lot of brick shots. A lot of brick shots from everybody. And just really, really, really having a tough time beating the zone because the Pistons do one thing, and we've talked about it. It's they run that freaking high screen and roll over and over and over and over again. And when a team just goes to zone and they're like, okay, run the screen, you're just gonna run to the next guy. It starts to hurt. And when you're running guys out there, Dennis Jenkins 1 for 5, Cade Cunningham 1 for 7. I'm just talking about 3-point numbers here. Ron Holland 0 for 3, Karis LeVert 1 for 8. Team overall 14 for 43. You just don't beat a zone. You just can't. And like it was so clear how obviously we were missing Duncan Robinson. And you can say like if we had him, we probably would have won that game, which is probably true. But if one, let's be real, he's a good role player, but he's a role player. If one role player falls out of the scheme for a game, is he that important? Is he the linchpin? Does everything just come crumbling around? Is it this easy? Because like you be damn sure when we see the playoffs, this is something that teams are going to be seeing. Like, oh, remember when they couldn't put a single bucket in against the zone? I bet we're going to be seeing more of this as the season goes on, as teams realize, like, oh, they can't really beat a zone.
I mean, forget the playoffs. We're going to see it more Saturday when we play the same Milwaukee team. Gabe, your thoughts over the last 5 games, or if you want to just stay on the zone, let's talk about the zone.
Yeah, let's stay with the zone because, I mean, the way you beat a zone, either by quick passing or what's more common, obviously 3-point shooting, but you also can attack from like the weak side off a screen and I mean off a quick pass. And I thought that's what like our guys excel at. Ron Holland had a few takes. He just didn't play very well, I thought. But the guy really was hoping for more from his Jaden Ivey, who when he's in that position and you have what's his name, Gary Trent Jr. on you, like there's no world in which he should be able to stay in front of Ivy and Ivy not get to the rim. I understand he's still, he's probably like mentally not back from being scared of his 2 legs. It's understandable. Cade, I thought, was terrible. This game, super slow. Has he ever missed a shot not short? This guy can barely get the ball to the rim for the most times. And JD as well, like he's a perfect guy you put in the middle to beat a zone with his passing and ability to go one-on-one, but he could just not stop Jericho Sims. So yeah, that's a problem. That we've kind of come back to earth this time. We played like all these 5 games are super close. But like if Cade is not that guy, then the game that we lose. We had a lot of stupid errors in the Magic game, and I thought especially to end the half in this game, we had so many sloppy turnovers. Cade getting picked, throwing like we'd almost have a good defensive play, and then we just throw the ball out of bounds. So yeah, I don't think it's just Duncan. I think it's just shooting in general. And we'll talk about trades in our next pod. I think we discussed. So like maybe Amit, you said Sasser's coming back. He'll be back next game. Hopefully, maybe he helps. It's not gonna come from anybody else. I still have hope for Jaden Ivey, but he's on a minutes restriction right now, pretty heavy one. And so we'll see. We play a good Portland team next. They have good defenders. They're gonna play zone. So yeah, I'm interested to see if we change anything. It actually, the team I'm on right now, we had a decent first quarter as well, and then the other team went zone, and we scored like 5 points the rest of the game, and it was terrible. So I understand. We also have no shooting. But yeah, anyway, Amit, anything else on the zone?
Seems like you're living the reality here. Yeah, I think we had 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter yesterday. That's not going to cut it. Cade Cunningham's 3-point shooting, we've been skeptical about it for, I'd say, maybe a while now. And now it's becoming a legit concern. I thought that it would even out or ramp up as the season would progress, but I think we've said like 1 for 7, 1 for 8, 0 for 5, at least a handful of times. So it's becoming more and more of a concern. And like you said, does this guy ever not miss short? Um, we need to figure this out. We need to figure it out soon. We knew losing Malik Beasley was going to be an issue, and Tim Hardaway Jr. when it came to shooting. Karis LeVert has not necessarily answered those concerns. What'd you say, Connie? 1 for 8 from Karis from three.
Yeah,
That's
for 10 from the field.
yeah. That's not what you need from a guy. I know we have games like this. I know that it's going to happen off nights, but we need to figure something out here because I think the zone has been a problem this entire season. It's not just last night. So this isn't like a new problem. It was just fully exploited last night. So we need to figure this out. Isaiah Stewart getting ejected does not help. Paul Reed. Let's talk about Paul Reed for a second. We did a lot of negative. Paul Reed came in and really made an impact in his short minutes, hitting the corner three, a couple bunny from right in front, hustle, put back dunk.
Yeah,
So
Milp. Milp, I love Paul Reed. Every time I
Milp,
see him out there, man, he's great.
Milp.
He's just great to see on the court.
Yeah, if you love Paul Reed, put in the comment section #MILP, and we'll get that going.
He almost,
Was that?
sorry, he also, I really thought that like last second, um, that 3-pointer when they were down near the end, I thought he was gonna hit that. He shot one from the wing. It went up real high on the arc and it dropped because he had a turnaround earlier in the game that absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah, the one leg like little fadeaway thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out Paul Reed. Jaden Ivey, I don't know how to feel about JI yet. Like you said, Gabe, he's still coming back. I'm not gonna write him off just yet. But he's still making some of those same silly mistakes.
He is a target defensively.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this has happened more than once, several times since he's come back, where he will get screened, die on the screen, point at somebody else, and then somehow at the end of the possession, 5 guys of the Pistons are on the perimeter, and one guy from the other team is directly underneath the basket, and he gets a pass and he gets a layup. That I have seen multiple times. It's usually in a screen and roll where it's his and Stewart's man, and they clearly like missed Tom, and then Stewart's pissed off at him, and I'm inclined to believe that Isaiah Stewart is correct, at least on the defensive end, So he's doing something wrong there.
He is. He's got to figure that out. The dying on the screen part, I think I've noticed as well. Ron Holland had a great game against was it Atlanta? I think it was Atlanta.
Yeah.
Had a great game in Atlanta. Came up with a few big steals. One was gifted to him, so I think that was in Miami. One was gifted to him. So hopefully we figure some things out here. We're reaching that point in the season. We're about 20 games in now. Teams know each other. Teams know your weaknesses. The Pistons got off to an incredibly hot start, but now it's time to make some adjustments and figure some things out. Shooting is going to be a big thing. Like you said, Marcus Sasser most likely returning to Pistons action tomorrow at home against Portland. He did play for the Motor City Cruise. I did not see the point totals, but I saw some highlights. He looks decent. Again, highlights. So we will take that with a grain of salt. But we need shooting. Marcus Sasser is capable of providing shooting. So a couple big games coming up for the Pistons tomorrow and Saturday. What's next on the list here that we want to discuss? I send it over to Gabe if you got a topic that you want to pick on.
Yeah, Cade did have a monster game against Boston. Just it couldn't come through. He had a huge game against Orlando as
Orlando.
well. And he did win the Player of the Month for the Eastern Conference. Quite an accomplishment.
Only the fifth player in, I think, Pistons history to do so.
Wow, that's actually pretty crazy. Also a good game against Miami, and that was the end of that game, or like the start of the fourth quarter, I guess, reminded me a lot of how this game ended before the first half, where we just kind of like we get to a huge lead and then we just stop doing what works. Um, Miami's a good team, don't get me wrong, and they got hot. They got hot against the Clippers the night afterwards, but I don't know. I really think we need to find another sort of consistent offense that's not just like you said, Connie, Cade, high pick and roll. Tobias has been awesome. He's really, I mean, he had that one super rough night against, was it Atlanta?
Like 0 for 8 to start.
But yeah. So I don't know. At this point of the season, I don't think we're the best team in the East. I think we like starting to see that you can't win it all with just hustle and paint scoring. You do need a diversified offense. And when a guy like Stu kind of gets himself ejected, the defense really falls apart as well. Which
I mean,
I still have some star thoughts, but
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we'd be feeling better. Like the record is still 17-5.
Yeah.
I feel like we'd be feeling better if these just came in like a different order, you know?
Yeah.
But last night's loss, 4-point game, was the biggest point differential of our last 5 games. Which you talked about. There is no holding on to a lead. I don't understand what it is. I truly don't, because like once the lead is then gone and the other team goes on a 20-0 run, the Pistons are right back to it, just like doing something, fighting hard again, getting points. Um, it's truly very, very interesting, and I have no comprehension of what that could be other than just like an effort thing. I will say like Cade, like you said, had huge games, multiple huge games, and against Milwaukee just looked wiped out. Um, it looked like it was just a little too much. His like he shot one mid-ranger, he kind of like posted like jab, shot it, and just like hard front rim, like not even going bouncing up afterwards, like going straight down. It just looked like his legs were not with him anymore. And Mike, our friend Mike, and I want to pose this to you guys too. You said a little bit like we're a little worried about his shooting. Scale of 1 to 10. How worried are you about Cade Cunningham's ability to put the ball in the basket efficiently? Like we know he's gonna get all the shots and like he can put up a great scoring number, but like at this point in the season, he's uh he's 52% on twos, he's 29% on threes, he's 45% overall. Like at what point are you like a little concerned about his ability to, and like I don't want to say put the ball in the hole because he can put the ball in the hole, but like to do it, like to make the shots. I feel like a lot of layups get missed, three-pointers get missed all the time. And he does
Yeah.
take a lot of tough shots. And like the reason is his effective field goal percentage is still pretty good because he gets to the line a ton. But like, is that something that is on your radar? Is that something you're thinking about?
It's definitely on my radar. I
Or is
keep
that
making
something
it,
you think is just gonna like even out?
I'm hopeful that it's something that's just going to even out, but at the same time, I feel like we're saying this team is one move away, right? Are we all kind of in that realm?
Um,
Like, and when I say move, I mean like move, not just like, oh, let's go get some like refining piece.
I
Not
think
from winning a championship, but from being
no.
a really good, like consistent threat. Yes.
Yeah. So like not championship.
I think we're one or two small refining moves away from being a really, really good team. I think a championship
Yeah.
this year and
Yeah.
next year and the next couple of years is like virtually impossible with Oklahoma City in the league. But like
Hmm.
to go through the East, yeah.
Yeah. So like I feel like if he had another scoring like threat next to him, it would make things better. But again, I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's coming. I don't know whether that's even a possibility. Like you said, Connie, maybe it's just a couple more refining pieces that are going to be added to this roster. But I feel like so much attention is put on him. Like you said, he takes a lot of tough shots. I don't have his numbers of like field goal percentage on open threes or anything,
He must
but I,
keep going.
I'm a little concerned because there's at least two yesterday I can think of that he should hit.
Name
If you're
them.
going to be a star player,
Name them.
MVP caliber guy that you want to be, you need to hit those.
Can you name like? Do you remember exactly what they were?
There was one from the top of the key.
Yeah,
Uh,
where he like ran into it.
there was that one, and then there was one catch and shoot that he needed to hit. It was off a kick out. So I don't know. I say it all the time when I'm watching the game, like, oh, he's tired, right? But how many times can I say, oh, he's tired? Like what'd you say, 17-5? We're 22 games into this season. If we're tired already, we got a bit of a problem. Because this is a guy who's supposed to be carrying your load not only for the next 60 games, but you want playoff hopes too. So like, if fatigue is a problem, we need to find a way to either sit him, but we can't because non-Cade minutes for his entire tenure as a Piston have been a problem. Uh, so how worried am I on a scale from 1 to 10? 6, maybe at this moment. Um, but that's also just based off the last 5 games and seeing how, like, has he had good games? Yes, but are there points that he has left? And speaking of those points that he's left, uh, free throw line points, he's also been leaving, which I feel like he misses, whether it's a technical foul free throw
Oh
or
my
just
God, the tech free throws.
the tech free throws are atrocious.
I mean,
So that's also a concern for
we
me.
say that, but the same like what I'm assuming is in your mind is the
Hmm.
Boston one.
The Boston one, and then he missed the
He,
one of two in the final seconds of the Orlando game.
yeah, and then he did a perfect
He
intentional
did a
miss on
perfect
the second one.
intentional miss.
But in the Boston one, he was 14 for 16 from the line.
Yeah, it was just.
Like
I mean, it was just magnified in that
it's
moment.
just the one. Um, I think yeah, like in those refining pieces, and we'll get more into it on the trade pod. But I think
Mhm.
two incredibly key pieces that are missing are one is another shooter. I've had this
Mhm.
argument with guys around here where the Pistons really only have one shooter. There's a couple other guys that like can shoot. I tried to argue that Stu was a shooter and I lost that argument because Stu is a guy that can shoot but is not a shooter, you know? Duncan
Fair.
Robinson is a shooter
Yeah.
and we are I think desperately missing another shooter and it has been 3 weeks since the last bit of Malik Beasley news. And that has just gone completely silent, which is unfortunate. And the other thing we're missing that I thought was really obvious against the Bucks is, I mean, we've said it before, but another ball handler. And I was just dreaming of Dennis Schroeder last night because when they were bringing the pressure up late game and they were dogging us, every time Cade brought it up, like it'll work out, but like Ivy trying to bring it up against the press and he just tries to like dribble past the guy fast. There was like it just doesn't work
No.
out that well.
No.
Just another person that can handle a little bit of responsibility, you know?
Yeah, and I
That guy,
think
I don't think, I mean, unless Ivy makes some steps, is not on the roster.
it's definitely a question. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on was like I think Kelsey was talking about it yesterday. I think we saw Ron bring the ball up the floor. Asar, JD, Karras, Ivy, Cade, and I think I'm missing still one or two. So we had so many guys bring the ball up the floor, but I think he said it at like the 3:30 mark of the first quarter. 9 Pistons had touched the floor. Going back to last week's discussion, is the rotation still a problem?
Dennis Jenkins is starting to like,
Even
like
out?
his like Linsanity run is over. And
Yeah.
he's still a decent player, but he's not a shooter, and it's like again that's a problem. I do kind of trust him to like bring the ball up.
Yeah.
So
I
it's a
did not
decent
like how he
option.
handled that late clock situation late in the game yesterday, though. But that was probably just like a learning experience for him.
Yeah, but yeah, like, and JB keeps saying like in almost every post game interview that like he says we're still killing ourselves. We still have a lot of room to grow,
And they are.
and like yeah,
We're not a
and
finished
they are.
product.
It's true. It would be nice to get past those things eventually. And who knows? Like a quarter of the way through the season now, we'll reassess. About halfway point where we stand. We're still probably gonna be around the top of the East. Maybe not first seed anymore. Yeah,
It's going to be a reset period, I think, after Saturday, because Saturday is tomorrow.
We have a long break.
We have a
Yeah,
long break tomorrow. I think is Saturday the 6th. Because today, Saturday's the 6th. We don't play again until we go to Atlanta, or Atlanta comes here on the 12th. So that's a 6-day break. Reassess, reevaluate, and who knows? Maybe we pick up some steam again coming out of that mini break. So maybe losing that game Friday, though it hurt, it might have been a blessing in disguise for us at this moment in time.
All right, you guys want to talk a little bit of positive stuff?
Let's do positive. I like positive.
And I don't know what your points on Asar Thompson were, Gabe, but my points, again, it's the freshest in my mind. He was a plus 22 last night.
I saw that. That's crazy.
Who said it? Valley said it in the group chat. Asar Thompson is a freakazoid. I thought whenever he was on the court, good things were happening. He was super active. He was actually doing things, but he only played 26 minutes, only 3 fouls. So why do you guys think that? Is it because the rotation is just so deep? But like,
it's that's probably the common thing of like we were trying to shoot over his zone, and
I think it was the zone. Yeah, like I noticed a lot of Sar would like he'd pass, he'd do like one hard dribble and then pass back out and then go stand in the
He shot a couple
corner.
threes yesterday, didn't he? He hit one.
But
he's like on the line for 2 of them. That's how you know he's not a shooter. Yeah.
This makes me think like, how much do you think the Pistons have worked against the zone, like in practice, which I feel like is something they should do, but like you said, Gabe, one of the classic ways to beat a zone is to put a passer like at the free throw line and then someone in the dunker spot. You think that Jalen Duren is a pretty solid passer. You could put him there, and Asar Thompson in the dunker spot, which is something that we saw a lot against. I mean, it wasn't a zone, but a lot against the Knicks in the playoffs, where Duren would distribute to Asar in the dunker, but like that didn't seem to be what they were going for. I mean, it was also tough. I mean, no shooting, you know. You
like the other problem, we couldn't even get it in. Like I feel like there were so many possessions against that zone where it was just going back and forth from the 2 guys up top. Like it wasn't even getting entered into the free throw line so that Duren could make a play.
Yeah, they had a lot of good athleticism out there.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be that big of a problem.
It should not be. And like you said, we were just running pick and rolls, and then like we just run into the same problem over and over and over again, and then we're down to like 13 seconds on the shot clock, and then they're like, "Oh shoot, let's like get it inside the 3-point line," and then it was just rushed, and it became a mess. But yeah, that's why I think Asar didn't play. I think it was just we needed shooting, and he was not able to provide that for us.
What were you thinking on Asar earlier, Gabe?
I wouldn't say it's positive.
Yeah,
offensively, like still with him and Ron do this thing where they don't like go up and just try to like dunk over the guy. They do these like up and unders. Ron had the one that really
oh my God, that pissed me
where
off
he went up and then he tried to go back under, flick with the right hand.
Just hit the bottom of the rim.
Yeah, like just go up strong, man. Asar's free throw shooting, but also like his defense to start is amazing, and like people get really frustrated, but as the game like wears on, Kevin Porter and what's the point guard's name?
Ryan Rollins.
Rollins, they like figured him out, and I think other players do as well. Like he goes really hard, but like if you pump fake a three, he goes flying by. He closes out super aggressively. So I think that like they both had good efficient games. That happened last time as well. I remember we said like Asar put Rollins in like the blender for like the first like two and a half
Hmm.
quarters, and then he really turned it on. So I just
He
like
also
I'd
had
like
a
to.
little something to say at the end of the game. I don't know if you guys caught
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he got hit pretty good on one play.
Yeah.
So I just like to see like I don't know more consistency from him, and also like some dunks. Like he had so many dunks last year. I
Hmm.
want to see Ron and Asar just like he used to do this thing where he just like jump up with two hands and just try to dunk. I really want to see them both aggressively attack the rim because
Yeah.
I think it's like not really happening.
Yeah, I would like some more aggressiveness around the rim. And I think I mean, is it me or have we not seen as many lobs from K to JD anymore? Has the league finally figured this out?
I mean, yes. I, partially, yeah, I mean, definitely that's what they're showing in film. That's what the other team's saying is like, okay, this is what they're looking for. Don't give them this. But at the same time, if you had that's only possible if you if the help defender is able to come down, if
If
Hmm.
they
you
don't care
throw
about the
another guy,
corner,
if
yeah.
they
Corner
don't
guy,
care
yeah,
about
it's
the
like a whole
shooter.
team
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Which like partially I think it is like that's what they're trying to stop, but then at the other time what they're giving up is not a dangerous thing.
Yeah. Like yeah. Okay, we said positives and we've still been pretty negative.
Uh,
Let's talk a little Tobias Harris. One of you guys touched on it earlier. He's been pretty. Gabe, you touched on it earlier. He's been pretty solid, except for that game in Atlanta. Um, a lot of we again we keep mentioning the next pod we're going to talk trade stuff. His name has been circulating around as a potential trade target. I don't think trading Tobias Harris is what's best for this team at this point in time. Would y'all agree or disagree?
Go ahead, Connie.
I mean, just trading to trade him, obviously, no, but like if he's the money piece to make a nice trade work, I don't think it should be out of the question. And you said like it's time to be positive,
Yeah,
and I hate to do this, but has his defense slipped?
I think a little bit. Yeah.
Because me and Valley were watching the Magic game together, and Valley was getting so incredibly frustrated by how many right hand layups the Magic were getting, and it felt like Franz Wagner
Desmond
was just
Bane.
slipping by him. Desmond Bane was just going right by our guys a lot of times just for easy shots. Um, I mean, I still love Uncle T, but I feel like he's a little slower on his feet defensively. Offensively, yeah, he's coming through. He's doing his thing. He's kind of what we're expecting, maybe a little better. Um,
His three
but
ball looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think like that's one thing. If we do move him, you need to make sure you get an equivalent or
oh
better
yeah,
3-point shooter because
Yeah.
he is like aside from Duncan, I think he's our next best shooter.
which is
Agreed.
not a good thing.
No, he shouldn't be, but he has done really well offensively. The Bucks commentators over and over again would say like, "Oh, that's he's just a professional scorer, Mr. Consistent every time he touched the ball." Real quick, also the Bucks commentators, I hate that crew. The woman when Paul Reed scored his little turnaround you talked about, she said Paul Reed deep in his bag, and then the guy says Paul Reed has a bag, maybe a brown paper bag. I was
Oh.
like, why are they roasting him like that?
Oh,
And also,
okay.
I think it was the Pacers commentators last week. If you miss two free throws, you get like
Yeah.
free chicken or something, and they call it brickin' for chicken. And he repeated that brickin' for chicken at least 20 times. Would always chuckle afterwards, like he was So yeah, I'm glad we have George and Greg, man, because these guys are so annoying when you have to watch the opposing
Hey,
team.
windmill jam, right? That's what we
Yeah.
gotta do.
But
um,
anyway, what were we talking about?
Tobias.
Oh yeah, Tobias. Yeah. So like I said, I think I'd like I don't know, a move where yeah, a smaller move, I guess. But if he is the money piece, like sure, him and Karras, I really like have no qualms about trading them.
I I don't know. I feel like Karras may not spend his entire contract here, unfortunately.
No, I think he's gonna be gone this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't like this game, but I've been liking
I'm not saying
Cam.
he's been bad. I'm not saying he's been atrocious. I'm just saying I don't think his contract is gonna finish here. I think
Okay.
for
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? Should we have seen Chaz Lanier last night?
Yes, 100%, 300%, 400,000%. I was wondering why we didn't see Chaz at all. Like you drafted this guy because he can shoot. You need someone to shoot.
He's had a couple games where he's hit
Yeah,
threes,
And he's
yeah,
not afraid. Yeah.
especially from the wings, which
and
is
against Milwaukee.
the freaking weak point of the zone is the 3-point wing, and I feel like he's hit a lot of those.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Um, I really don't. But I think that's just a product of, again, like we touched on last week, rotations dwindling. I
You
guess
guys.
less time for Dennis, no time for Jazz.
All right. Well, it was a tough week, right?
It was a
Let's
tough week.
wrap this up.
Do we have a little time to go over the next couple of games, or
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
we got 5 minutes? All right, let's talk about the rematch against Milwaukee on Saturday and Portland tomorrow. Gabe, you touched on it a little bit. You want to touch on what you've seen from Portland and what you think we're going to see on Friday or tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They're not great, but they play hard. They play defense. Well, kind of. They give up a lot of points at times. I really want to see Denny Avdia like under 10 free throws. That he's like that's how they score most of their points.
It's gonna
Okay.
it's not gonna happen. It's gonna infuriate me.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see how Cade does at the rim against a super, super long
Kamara. I'm
Klingen
a little worried about that.
and Kamara, yeah. But that's a game we should win, to be honest. Like
It's a
they're
game we
not
should
that
win.
good, yeah.
Uh, you have any thoughts on what we think we're going to see on Saturday, Connie?
Um, I mean we're definitely gonna see that zone look again. Hopefully Dunk is back, and I think we're gonna see some adaptations to the zone from the Pistons. I mean that's how it goes. Punch, counter punch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's that I mean that better be something that they're talking about, chatting about, just like trying to I think we will see some better shots against the zone. Or if Giannis is back, I think they're not
He's
gonna
out 2 to 4 weeks, so no more
okay.
Giannis concerns.
Oh wow, okay. His shoes are also completely smooth on the bottom. Like there are no ribs or anything. They're just like flat, which is really weird.
Interesting.
That's interesting. That's really-
But anyway, you guys think 2-0?
I would like to say 2-0. I think after yesterday, Cade looked frustrated. He looked frustrated against Orlando. Had a great game against Miami, and then and against Atlanta. So yeah, I think Cade's going to be frustrated, come out with a vengeance, and I think this whole team is going to be ready to come back. I say 2-0.
1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're gonna beat the Bucks coming back.
I'm
The
scared about tomorrow.
Blazers is like 50-50, but I think we will. I think we will win that game. If anything, Cade is more fresh for that one.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I'm a little scared. Donovan Clingan against Jalen Duren. Uh, yeah,
JD should be blasting by
He
him
should
every
eat that.
time.
he should be,
Yeah.
but I feel like on the offensive on the defensive glass, it's going to be a bit of a struggle when Clingan's under the basket. Um, it's going to be a battle for sure. But if we can win that, I think I have more of a
It's,
confidence.
it should be a game where we see some Jalen Duren moves. You know,
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
he's
like
like
100%.
he's the type of
yeah.
guy that like
Blow-bys.
you can
Yeah,
post like mid post and then yeah, just run by.
yeah. I'd love to see that. Any other notes on the next couple games before we get out of here?
Oh, I got 2 minutes. I'd like to hate on somebody real quick.
Proceed.
Jaden Ivey. Remember how to play basketball. Remember that you're good on offense and that you can get to places on offense and actually make shots. Don't die on screens. You're faster than the dude you're guarding. You're stronger than the dude you're guarding. Use it. All right, that's it. I
All
put
right, that's it. All right.
into
Well,
the
thank you guys so
universe.
much for
There's
listening
a
to
lot of
this
anger
episode.
behind that.
Hey, I love it though. I love it. Last time you hated on two people, it
worked.
It did. I think we started the win streak after that. So thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Let us know how you guys feel about this team as of this point, 22 games in. Comment #melt if you love Paul Reed. And until next time, throw the Buffs on Detroit because the future is bright.